Bugs, display issues, frame rate drops, or worse, complete crashes. Once again, 2024 brought us a year filled with technically ambitious games, many of which, sadly, stumbled hard on their PC versions. While it's easy to understand the challenges developers face, these problems hit especially hard for players with high-end hardware, who expect their systems to deliver a seamless gaming experience. In theory, 2024 should have been a year of massive leaps in gaming technology, but in practice, poor optimization, rushed launches, and immature features left many PC gamers frustrated, despite the dazzling new graphical effects touted in trailers. Today we're looking back at the most mixed PC releases of 2024. Let's dive in. Our first stop is Dragon's Dogma 2, which launched in March. As a sequel to a cult classic, fans had high hopes. And while the game itself delivered a solid role-playing experience, its PC performance was a bitter pill to swallow. Players were plagued by poor optimization, especially in cities teeming with NPCs. Even high-end systems struggled with frame rate drops and stuttering. But the real kicker, data miners uncovered support for path tracing, a cutting-edge rendering technique offering stunningly realistic lighting. Yet Capcom left this feature hidden and unusable, likely to avoid performance comparisons with the console versions. Mods have enabled path tracing for those adventurous enough to try it, but without developer support, the results are inconsistent. Ultimately, Dragon's Dogma 2 feels like a missed opportunity to push PC gaming to new heights. From the magical lands of Dragon's Dogma, we move to the galaxy far, far away. Jedi Survivor may have been released in 2023, but even in 2024, its technical issues persist. Despite numerous patches, frame rate drops remain an issue in several locations. Worse still, sudden crashes and jittery animations continue to break immersion. As Respawn shifts its focus to a sequel, it seems unlikely that Jedi Survivor will ever achieve technical polish on PC. And that's a shame for a game that shines so brightly in its storytelling and gameplay. PC gamers deserve better. Next, let's shift gears, literally, with Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. This open-world racing game promised a sleek experience, but delivered a complete wreck at launch. Broken servers, terrible reflections, and abysmal performance left players stranded on the starting line. Updates have improved stability, but by then, most players had already moved on. For a game that charged extra for early access, the launch was an unmitigated disaster. A few patches won't be enough to win back players' trust. Star Wars Outlaws is a mixed bag. On one hand, its gameplay shines in enemy bases and stealth-focused sequences. On the other, activating PC-exclusive features like RTX Direct Lighting led to glaring graphical errors at launch. Thankfully, updates have fixed many of these issues, and the game's visuals can be breathtaking on the right hardware. With version 1.5 ironing out most major bugs, there's hope that Outlaws will continue to improve. Unlike Jedi Survivor, this title might still redeem itself with future updates. Fallout 4's next-gen update was long awaited, but turned out to be more of a setback. While console versions received minor upgrades, the PC update caused mod compatibility issues and added little of value. Basic features like dynamic shadows, better visibility, and updated lighting are still missing. Ironically, the modding community has done far more to enhance Fallout 4 than Bethesda ever did with this update. Final Fantasy XVI delivered an unforgettable story and gameplay, but not without a strange PC quirk. Despite the game running at 60 FPS or higher, its cutscenes were locked to a jarring 30 FPS. Mods have since addressed this limitation, but Square Enix has yet to provide an official fix. For a game of this caliber, such inconsistencies feel like a step backward. Calling Shadow of the Damned a remaster is generous. The PC port of this cult classic brought little more than a few skins and a New Game Plus mode. Improved visuals, updated textures. Forget it, players had to rely on mods for basic quality-of-life improvements, making this release feel like an afterthought. When Stalker 2 released, it wasn't exactly smooth sailing. The game was far from finished, with glaring issues affecting gameplay. And it wasn't just minor bugs, these were game-breaking bugs that impacted performance, stability, and overall immersion. The Alive 2.0 system, which was supposed to bring more depth and realism to the game's dynamic world, launched in its basic form, lacking a lot of the features that were promised. Many of us remember the struggles with that system, and developers admitted the game was released unfinished, but here's where things get a little more complicated. The devs themselves said that delaying the game further just wasn't an option. They were in a situation where releasing it, even in an incomplete state, felt like the only choice. This was due to the unusual and extraordinary development history of the game. And no, it wasn't just about a few bad decisions or rushed development, it was about the war in Ukraine. Stalker 2 has shown that even with a rocky release, the goodwill of the community can still make a huge difference. The atmosphere, the tension, the thrill of surviving in the zone, these are all things that fans have praised. And they're part of what makes Stalker special. Despite all the issues, Stalker 2 has clearly resonated with its audience, and the developers are not relying just on fan goodwill. They're actively working to improve the game and make it the experience we've all been waiting for. Finally, let's talk about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Despite its reputation for realism, its launch was far from smooth. Endless login screens, crashes, and bugs plagued early adopters. While patches have stabilized the game, it's hard not to feel that the launch was rushed to meet a holiday deadline. In its current state, Flight Simulator 2024 would have been better marketed as an early access title. And that wraps up our look at the PC fails of 2024. From underwhelming updates to outright technical disasters, this year proved that even the most promising games can fall flat without proper optimization. But what about you? Did you encounter any games this year that left you frustrated or disappointed? Or were there titles I missed in this list? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and here's to a smoother 2025 for PC gaming. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more gaming content. See you next time!